WNTW.
Our boys basketball play of the year candidates: Michael McClear of Thornton at midcourt sinks it. Evan Reeves of Cape Elizabeth drives baseline and look out below. Cooper Flagg of Nokomis, the two-handed jam. And Freeport's Blaine Coburn, as good an athlete as you're going to find in the state. Look at that finish. And South Portland's Jalen Jackson, the alley-oop to JP Estrella on the inbounds play. Some play of the year candidates right there. All right, statewide, 8 teams managed to run the gauntlet of the regular season unbeaten. One of them is the girls team from Halldale High School. We had a chance to go inside the Bulldogs practices and get a feel for what they're all about.
Oh, my bad. Here we go. Yeah, keep the energy up. When I can tell, like, we're playing good together, I normally point at someone if someone does something good, or we clap and we get, like, just really loud. And you can tell the bench is all in it, and there's just a lot of energy. Yeah. Get in there! Yay!
Should get the mic up on that net. They can hear that swoosh. Well, we've all basically known each other our entire lives, and we just know each other. We know exactly like where the girl needs the pass or what our job is. Oh yeah, that's money. Hey! Good shot. Oh yeah, come here, Willie.
Let's go,
come here, girl.
If our defense is on point and we're all just like communicating and all just getting on the floor for loose balls, that's when we're at our best. I'm just excited to see where like we go, like how far we can go. Like we're so good and we have potential. Like I think we can win it all.
Oh yeah, good look.
And those Halldale girls just winning the MVC championship tonight, so they stay unbeaten. Now, no boys or girls tournament has been more of a toss-up over the last 15 years than the Class C girls tournament. In 15 years, there have been 13 different schools to win the title. Only Monmouth and Calais have managed to win it twice. Winthrop is dangerous with their up-tempo defensive-minded style and played their best ball at the end of the year. Old Orchard Beach possesses the consensus top player in the C tournament, Elise McNair. The junior's skill set makes her dangerous on the outside, inside, and on the drive, and Sarah Davis has emerged as a weapon on the perimeter. Carabec is the only team to play top-seeded Halldale within a basket. Cheyenne Cahill and the Cobras can fill it up. NYA prepared for the postseason by loading their schedule with out-of-class contenders like Wells and Brunswick. Angel Huntsman is the floor general, and her speed makes her a tough matchup. Greg Abilla and Charlotte Harper Cunningham give the Panthers multiple scorers. The top-seeded Halldale Bulldogs can score and have a lot of players that can score. 8 different players this year have scored in double digits in a game. Amanda Trepanier, Hayden Medor, and KK Wills are all capable of carrying the offense. It's a team that has scored over 80 points in a game 3 times. And actually, you can make that 9 different players have scored in double digits for Halldale. They can really score, and they have elite guards, and they are going to be tough to beat, beating teams by, 36 points a game. 10-10 win teams will enter the C-South tournament. Michael Hoffer is back with me from the Forecaster, and the C bracket looks a little top-heavy, I think.
It does, and obviously my focus is on North Yarmouth Academy. NYA had another terrific season. They've really had several in a row now, and they've been kind of gearing up, thinking about playing Halldale potentially in the regional final, and that's why one of the reasons you saw them schedule a Wells and Brunswick and Freeport late in the year. Angel Huntsman's as good a point guard as you'll find, and she doesn't get a lot of publicity playing in Class C South, but she's very creative. She passes like no one else. Madeline Honorado is another scorer to watch for the Panthers, and they're a team that went deep in the tournament 3 years ago. They've had a lot of success of late. They've got a lot of kids who just won a soccer state title, so I know they would love to get a shot at Halldale. It won't be easy, but I think if you're Halldale, you'd have to take NYA very seriously if that matchup does come to fruition.
And Dean Plant has a pretty good team in Old Orchard, a young team. They only only play one senior really in their rotation. They're young, and maybe the regular season, some really tough matchups have prepared them. And Elise McNair is something else, player that people are going to want to check out if they have not seen her play. It's been interesting. Now, the C-South girls will have the longest layoff. They start their quarterfinals on Tuesday of the tournament week. Flashing back, it was 30 years ago this tournament. The C tournament had one of the most remarkable endings. Jeff Love of Winthrop, a buzzer beater, beat Washington Academy. He joins an exclusive club. That's Mike Thurston, Joe Campbell, and Ethan Murphy, the 4 players to win state championships on buzzer beaters. That was 30 years ago. the Augusta Civic Center. What a night it was if you were a Winthrop Rambler fan, and Winthrop would love to have another title like that as they start this year in the tournament. The C-South tournament has belonged to Winthrop recently. Todd MacArthur's teams have won 3 regional titles in 4 years and back-to-back state championships. Will anyone threaten the Ramblers' run? Sammy and Manny Calder lead a Monmouth team that nearly took down Winthrop a week ago. St. Dom's had its best year in ages with 13 wins. Gabe Carey gives the Saints a deep threat at point guard. After starting 6-1, Dirigo lost 4 of its last 11 games, but Charlie Houghton brings one of the best offensive games into the bracket. Add Trenton Hutchinson, and that's a good 1-2 punch. Like Dirigo, Old Orchard started 6-1 and lost 5 of its next 11 games, but 3 were to Class B teams, and Old Orchard's tournament ready. Landon Johnson is the most dynamic scorer in the tournament. Winthrop may not be the offensive juggernaut it's been in the past, but the defense is still a calling card. Logan Baird, Andrew Foster, Braden Stubbart, and Matt Beck are all capable of carrying the team. Winthrop has certainly had some obstacles this year with COVID injuries, and saw them play maybe 6 games and I think a 10-game run. But they've got an elite coach and some players that did get some championship flavor when they were sophomores. Michael, Class C, Winthrop is out in front, but there's some Western Mid Conference teams that might be able to threaten, I think.
Yeah, I mean, we really haven't talked about Waynfleet this year, and we usually talk about them as one of the top contenders in Class B South. This might not be a vintage Waynfleet team, but they're dangerous, and I think if people are going to overlook them, they could be especially dangerous. They're in the 8th spot, and of course they have to win a prelim just to get up to Augusta, but they're capable. And then you've got NYA in the 6th spot. I think another team that's played several games in Augusta of late. Good balance offensively. They don't necessarily have one guy they rely on. They have a lot of different guys that can get it done. And then, as you alluded to just moments ago, the Old Orchard Beach with Landon Johnson, they might be saving their best for last. So there are some teams for local fans to keep an eye on down in the Portland area. And of course, all that action will be up in Augusta, which should be a lot of fun.
And you always wonder, who is the player that kind of carries his team through a tournament? And Johnson's the kind of guy. Yeah. Houghton up at Dirigo, one of those types of players. And St. Dom's has had a terrific year. They have a chance. They got 3 guys to score in double digits, and maybe they are a Cinderella story at this C tournament. Thank you, Michael. Now in the North, Fort Kent 17-1. They're the #1 seed. All right, the girls' plays of the year. Sarah Terrio of Marshwood, the up and under on the baseline. Here's Grace Ramsdell with the mid-air putback for Wells. How about Vanessa Walker of Gorham banks the 3 at the buzzer? Then a Travie nominee for Falmouth, Katie Lazaritis. Check out this. From laying down, puts it in. More tournament preview in a moment.